Hey Resin Maniacs, we are back with another already out of the box review of a big honking kit. If you like big honking kits, then this is the kit for you. We are looking at Forbidden Zone's Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, sculpted by Jeff Yeager and Mike Allen. This thing is a big kit. So, and where to start? Well, if you're a hobbyist, garage kit builder, you're probably already very well aware of the movie Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr., Creighton Chaney, and Bela Lugosi as the monster. So, and basically, this depicts the scene in which Lawrence Talbot, on the run for some crazy villagers, while he's all wolfed out in wolf mode, falls into an icy cavern, and he's all writhing around, and he kind of passes out. Wakes up with his "I was a werewolf last night" hangover, and he walks over, and he finds this. And he looks in and sees the frozen monster, and which is very serendipitous to a situation because he's trying to die and he heard about Frankenstein, and basically he's going to find Dr. Frankenstein to kill him. So, but we are depicted here in this very, very accurate diorama scene. And if you've always wanted to, like, I like dioramas, I'd like to have some dioramas, but I just don't have what it takes to build dioramas. Well, the fine folks at Forbidden Zone are like, fuck it, we built it for you. So, and here you go. It is a full diorama as a model kit. This kit is so big. It's so, I won't even make those terrible political jokes, but you knew where that was going. You ask anybody how big this kit is, they're going to tell you it's huge. It's a big damn kit. So big I don't know where to get started. So we're going to set the base stuff aside, and we're going to check out the figures first. So there's all the base stuff. You have to forgive me for the camera views and angles and everything because, well, not a whole lot of room going on here. So first we're going to check out the Frankenstein. Now, it is a two-figure kit, but I mean, you know, they had Yeager sculpt this much. The figures are sculpted by Jeff Yeager, by the way, because, I mean, he's in the ice. Why do you really need the whole rest of the figure, you know? And once again, we're going to look at the likeness. So Bela Lugosi is spot on. There's the cleft in the chin and just everything with it. Of course, it's Jeff Yeager. So, you know, it's really nice, really clean, really sharp sculpt. And the jacket is spot on. Everything is as it should be. And castings are very nice. So we're going to set him aside and then get on over here. Lawrence, as I like to call him, comes in 4 pieces. You have the main body, of course, and then you have the arms and head. Now, what really struck me about this whole piece, the Frankenstein is great. It looks really good. Yeager kicked its ass. So that being said, but what really got me, what really made me go, I need that kit. I need that kit on, well, I won't put it on a shelf because it'll break it, but on a table, is the likeness to Larry Talbot, Lon Chaney Jr. The likeness is just, I think it's the best done yet so far. That's my opinion. And it's also what he got in the look. He has that aw shucks despaired look that we all know Larry Talbot all had. Furrowed browed, I mean, he just looks, you know, you know, like he's like, I need to get this guy out of the ice so he can help me get killed. So, and the pose is very nice. It's got a lot of suggestive movement to it. And as you can see here, this one hand will go up onto the ice, and this actually goes up on, and this hand holds the rock, you know, that he busts out of the ice. The clothes have a really nice flow to them. They're worn and ripped from him running around being a wolf man. And the only thing I noticed that's, I guess, not movie accurate is in the movie, and I'm sure for sculpting and casting reasons this made sense. Where the tear is, the rip is in his sleeve, is you could actually see his bare arm. And once again, I'm sure for sculpting and molding, putting in an undershirt made way more sense. That's just my little OCD notice, and that it doesn't bother me a bit. I don't really care. It's the hands are very nicely, they're really expressive. And as you can see, the mold lines on this piece, or the castings are very clean. It's just a regular mold line. You hit that with a hobby knife, a little polish sanding. And as you guys know, I do all my sanding wet sanding first, because let's just go ahead and polish it as we do it. But looking at it, not much cleanup to do. Everything seems in order. And like I said, this is a tough one to review, because now on to all this. Now, for such a big kit, it does come with a lot of little bitty pieces. You've got the rock he's going to hold that he breaks the glass out in, and then some icicles. And you can place them wherever you wish. And then we're looking at, this is the part I really like, that's really cool, is the basically the ice that he is trapped in. And as you can see, he fits right in, nice and snug. Very snug fit. And I'm not going to use his head. I'm going to attempt to kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. It looks like we got a little like gasket here to place, and this all will go behind this. Okay, so you have this going on right here, and then your broken ice right here. And you get the idea. If I put the head on it, just keep falling out forward and probably out onto the floor. And then we have that going on right there. And what's really cool is it's broke down well enough to where I would pre-drill a couple holes on the back here, and just using some small like wood screws or something, set it, you know, just pre-drill. Trying to line this up with the camera correct. Pre-drill a couple holes here, and then you got the gasket that goes around this right here. Bada bing, you know, Bob's your uncle and all that good stuff. It's big, it's tricky, you know, but it's not really like a complicated build at all. It's just going to take some work. And then boom, set that aside for now. And then that would do that. And of course you're going to want to do all your painting and all that. Have it totally removable, do all your painting, and then do that all on a final assembly, of course. And then here we go on to this, and this links up quite nicely. So that's a lot of resin. And we are going to turn it here. And as you can see, we have our foot areas right here. Oh yeah. And you can see where the meet up is right there. There's a little gap there, a little sanding and dremeling, you know, for a proper fit. But then we go boom, boom, and Larry's ready for action. He's here to, you know, so boom for your display. This is a hard kit to display just kind of on a whim here while we're, you know, doing this. So, but just give you a rough idea of what's going on. You got this nice extra beam you can place around, and I'm doing this totally blind, so there. That's going to work for now. I'm sure that's not how it goes. This thing's huge, and there's it's not too daunting of a kit. But the only daunting thing to me is how do you paint snow without you know, it just being white and boring, you know? And don't use blue because you'll end up with too much blue. So maybe that's where you need to look at some AFMs, or, you know, get on Resin Maniacs and ask around, hit the clubhouse. Hey, how do you paint snow? Because there's a lot of damn snow to paint. But there's some earth showing here and there as well too. Now, one cool thing about this piece, well, besides from all of this, is a very cool effect to do once, let me just go so I don't worry about the phone. Once this is all rocking and rolling in gravy and you get him here, would be to do like some underlighting, you know, kind of back behind him. So it's like kind of coming up and going that way. So it's all lit, you know, because he is backlit in the movie. I wouldn't do it too heavy or too hard because you don't want to, you know, make it to where it just looks like there's a silhouette in there. Now, what the good guys at Forbidden Zone did is when they made this, they made it like he'd already broke the ice. And that's a really cool effect. When I finally get around to building this, I'm going to put a clear piece of like plexiglass here because I like the way it looks when he first sees him. And then what I'll do is just fog this over to where it just looks like a lot of heavy frost coming in. And I might put a crack in it or something. But I like the look when he first finds him and you just see that clear sheet of ice glass in front of him. That's really cool. And if you're like, well, I don't like lighting, but I want it to light up, hit up Matthew Lawrence at Star Lighting Productions. That dude can light up anything. And he can also make a really cool gizmo for anything you want. But you send him pictures of how all this goes together and everything, and he'll come up with something for you. But we're looking at, the base was done by Mike Allen. See, I knew that was wrong. Who is no slouch himself in the diorama building world, as you can see here. And the figures were, of course, sculpted by Jeff Yeager. Castings on everything. This is pretty much, aside from just sanding to get things to fit a little more snugly, this is pretty much wash and prime. The figures are just going to need some sanding for the mold lines, and that's about it. And you're like, well, how much for this? And I'm going to tell you, for the low, low price of $598.07, no, it's $395, free shipping. And big kits, I gotta say, $395 price point for a kit this size is actually pretty dang reasonable, because you look at, let's say, your average 6-scale figures around anywhere from $150 to $185. Okay, then you got your bust, which generally around $60 to $70, and then who's gonna, you know, build your diorama for you? So there you go. The other thing is too, this is a great piece for customizing. And basically you could get in here, you could hang extra stalactites, you could cut it up a little bit here and there, add some extra rocks. There is like a little river, you could make a little creek bed running through there, you know, let's make it even bigger. Why the hell not? And I mean, aside from this being what it is, a huge freaking kit, which is $395, a lot of bang for your buck. It's also very accessorizable, very easy to, you know, easier than you think to modify and do a lot with it. But building it as is straight out of the box, man, it'll be a showstopper. It'll be the one kit in your collection on your shelf, that your reinforced shelf, because that's a lot of damn resin, that people are gonna come to, and they're just, wow. because the two things that got me wowing, well, actually more than that, was the separate compartment. That's really awesome, and it's straight out of the movie. Lon Chaney Jr.'s likeness. Now, I'm not sure as a sculptor if he's a tough likeness. I've said in other videos, I know like Peter Cushing and Harrison Ford, you know, and I've mentioned a couple other people are tough likenesses, but this is the best Chaney Jr. likeness. Yeager's good, but damn it, he killed this. And so that, and the other thing that got me is just the scope of it. Because it's huge, but it's not ridiculous. You're not like, God, that's just ridiculous. Like, it's still kind of compact, but it's huge. So, no, it's not your cheapest kit. It's not your, my payday's tomorrow, I'm picking it up. This is, you know, if you're a man-child like me, when your wife is like, our anniversary's coming up, what do you want? I'm like, I want Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, or for Christmas, or it's one where you squirrel away. But it's definitely worth it. So I'd say squirrel it away, or if your anniversary's coming up, go ahead and hit up Forbidden Zone at fzinfo at forbidden-zone.biz, because fzinfo@gmail.com is just too long. So fzinfo at forbidden-zone.biz, and they'll get you hooked up. And $3.95, and the shipping is free, and it's like 30 pounds of resin. I'm sure a good chunk of that is shipping. As always, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like a kit review, just hit us up. We'd love to, you know, take it out of the box and rake it through the coals. Please comment, you know, and ask questions. You know, let's start a dialogue. Now, hit us up, like us, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we look forward to seeing you soon.